the reason why I'm mad, because I think it's sad. I think it's so avoidable, and we all said it was avoidable.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I'm mad.
Yeah, as
That's
soon
why
as he
I'm mad.
started fighting with like KSIs and like started to get more unhinged and like fighting with every single fucking person, and like wasn't like willing to like chill just a little bit, like cool your jets.
It's like watching somebody who drinks and drive get in a car accident, and then you ask him why, and then they say the other driver was stupid. It's like, bruv, you don't see it, and you're gonna keep drinking and driving. Okay, then go do whatever you want to do. At some point, I'm not gonna emotionally invest myself into making sure. And like, I didn't even. He got mad at me because I didn't cover the topic.
Well, probably because what he was asking, he probably wanted favorable coverage. That's probably what he was.
Which is such bullshit. Don't ask me for that. If I don't say nothing, it's generally because I have nothing positive to say most of the time.
Sure.
That's why that was me doing you a solid. I didn't keep open my mouth because if I would, I'm not going to get here and do some fucking,
PR stuff for you, basically.
I don't do that for nobody. I'm not going to do that. So I was hitting up offline and be like, yo, be careful. He didn't want to hear. He said, yo, these guys are whack. They didn't cover. I said, you want me to cover it? I'll cover it and I'll say the truth. Now, you don't need to like it. I don't really care at this point. But to me, there's just something really annoying about people who just expect everybody else to take accountability but don't understand their own involvement in situation. I get what you're saying about being maximum empathy, but at some point when everybody warns you what it is, and it's a different thing if something happens to you randomly, and then someone's like, yo, this is your fault. I can understand you being salty about that.
Yeah.
When like everybody's warning you. Everyone on the face of the planet's telling you you're going too fast and you don't give a shit. And then afterwards, you want to act all mad about everything, bro. You miss me. You lose a lot of my sympathy at that point.
I think it's funny.
We all saw you.
Yeah, I think there's probably a stream clip. As soon as it's fine. I think I literally said exactly to him that like, bro, you got to be careful because when you're on top and everybody's behind you, you'll feel like the wind is in your sails and you can take on the fucking world. But as soon as like the tides turn a little bit, you're going to be the loneliest motherfucker on the planet. And it always happens. Nobody has the internet jerk wave in their favor forever. Like the tides turn, like the waves ebb and flow. You can't pull that shit off forever. And you have to be like in a comfortable spot so that like when people start to hate on you, you're like, oh, I'm fine. I can chill or whatever. But if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, once the like waves are against you, like it's always the end. That's like the death knell for like every content creator that dies that way.
Yeah, and there's two separations when it comes to like what's smart and what's right. And I try to make that distinction in the video. I'm like, I think it's absolutely wrong that he got deplatformed.
For sure, I agree. Yeah,
but there's a difference between that and what's smart. I agree, you shouldn't get deplatformed. But if you're out here simulating yourself, fucking other people, if you're talking about COVID during a pandemic where, YouTube is extremely sensitive about all this information and you don't do proper research, and you don't like think about what the fuck that is that you're saying, when you're doing that, you're playing stupid.
Yeah, it's wild as fuck, but I actually can't believe I'm saying this. This is like a weird thing, but do you know who Low Tier God is?
Yes, I do know who he is.
Yeah, that guy actually, every single thing he's had to say on stuff related to this is completely right. He's like, bro, like people don't want this shit on their platforms. Like it's as simple as that. And until you need to start looking at it like that, like what do they want on their platforms? If you're trying to think of like, well, what's right and what's moral and what's, supposed to be blah, 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 like you're fucked. You're like, that's not how these platforms work. They're thinking about like their business, about their bottom line, and they don't want to carry like ultra risky content and shit. And that's just the facts. Yeah. But,
I mean, that's a tough truth. I don't know. I just don't understand this kind of autistic, like, this is the truth, and I'm going to say no matter what. And because I believe it, it's like, you know what? Everything you say comes with a certain level of responsibility, especially when somebody's paying your bills. It's like, you got to understand how you're talking about these topics because it affects their bottom line. So you got to be smart. I'm not saying you can't say what you want to say, but if you're not even going to take the time to think it through, I mean...
Bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.